Ron in Hawaii. You're on the air. Go ahead.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I've been here since 1968. I'm born in the military, Army brat. And these people are here in force, thousands of them. And they got brand new SUVs, everything. Then there's the other side, the gang guys. They're everywhere. And then all the cripples. It's like they just showed up. Bam, the last 2 months. Thousands.
So you're saying you're in Hawaii and there's the gang contingents, the folks that we're sorry for but are disabled, and then kids are in Hawaii?
Yes, thousands. They got brand new SUVs. They can't even drive. I ain't kidding.
I know. I've been seeing that around Austin. What do you think the cover is here? We know there's money laundering, drug dealing, mules. I mean, what else do you think's behind this total takeover?
Oh, they're trying to ruin us, just like you said. I never had the internet before. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was this bad, see? And my daughter just hooked me up with this and your show, and I knew it was bad, but this is crazy. And these people over here, they got bugs all over them. I can see it crawling. I don't even like to ride the bus no more. The locals don't like to ride the bus no more here. There's thousands.
Man, it's crazy. No, I hear you. I mean, Latin America's poor and has a lot of bad things about it, but it's not that bad in many areas. It's that they're sending the most, absolutely destitute. And that's a poem about send me your poor, send me your unwashed or whatever, but that's not really what's going on here. I mean, that's not what built this country. And it's Cloward and Piven. That's why the socialists showed up in Marietta and said, we want Cloward and Piven. We have the video. I mean, they know what they're doing. And it's just game over, man, game over. If America doesn't turn the corner, and I see those Border Patrol, they're bossing citizens around to bring the illegals in. Now the Border Patrol literally has been fully converted to butlers for the illegals. And again, I'm not even demonizing the illegals themselves. They're just a tool, a weapon. But in the hands of the globalists, they are a weapon. Stacy in California, thanks for holding.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Yes, I am from Marietta, and I have been out at the protest every day, mostly doing night shift, and since before the first buses arrived. And I realize that you guys are having problems with the Border Patrol right now and the police department on the street there. I'm on my way there after this phone call, but just know that when there's no cameras around, the Border Patrol agents and the police department are completely on our side. They do nothing but thank us. I
know they know they're committing crimes. I mean, I'm sorry. The Border Patrol, I don't care if they know it's wrong. It is a crime under federal law to sit. I mean, I can't send my kids randomly to some other country. That's child endangerment. And all I'm saying is, but you're right. We don't want to turn this into an anti-Border Patrol, anti-police thing. Go ahead.
And what my point is that they have officially been placed on a gag order, and they cannot speak to anyone about anything anymore because too much information has been getting out. But they have told us, and they have told their commanding officers that if they're told to march on us or arrest us, they will stand down. So,
well, it's clear that that's what they've already decided that, or that's why they keep backing off. Usually the cops will just attack you. But they realize they are so in the wrong here that people are just ready for something to kick off, which I do not want.
Hi, I'm Shane Steiner. A lot of you have been following my progress using Super Male Vitality. The last 19 weeks has been an incredible experience. I was feeling a little down and lethargic during the holidays, and none of the supplements that I was taking were doing any good. That's when my longtime friend from high school, Alex Jones, introduced me to Super Male Vitality. I was a little skeptical at first. Not only would I have the energy to work out and go to the gym, but it was actually the changes were happening to my body a lot more rapidly. My whole mood, my libido, everything had completely changed. The concentrated organic herbs, they stimulate your natural systems to produce the natural hormones that you need. I just really wanted to bulk up and hit it hard, and I went in for about the first 5 weeks, and was lifting heavy weight and just really hitting it hard, and I gained 20 pounds of muscle immediately. Since that, I've decided I was going to lose some weight and slim down. I just changed up my workout a little bit, and 35 pounds came off. Folks, this is not a joke. This is not a gimmick, it's real. Super Male Vitality, available at InfoWarsLife.com.
And then I don't like having to sit here and you know, cold-bloodedly say we can't take all these illegals. Because as humans, I feel sorry for them. But it's a globalist plan to manipulate those feelings in me and to bring down the country. And then I see the Border Patrol saying, get back, so they can bring the buses in. And I don't want to hate them or the cops that try to aggressively come over and say, get back, just because we're trying to be on the sidewalk. And, you know, I know the police and the Border Patrol, because we've talked to them, are really freaked out about what's happening. They know this means the country's collapsing. You've got the head of the Border Patrol Union, the deputy head, saying they're under a gag order, says no agents, securing border. They were ordered to stand down 3.5 months ago. I mean, that is sensational. And still, we can't get it out in the news other than Infowars.com, DrudgeReport.com, WorldLentDaily.com, maybe the WashingtonTimes.com. And then when we report it, okay, New York Times goes, yeah, we're busting them all over the country. And then now they're building up so much in these cities, from Michigan to Texas, from California to New York, from Alabama to Washington State, that even Democrat cities are freaking out. People are going, man, there's 10,000 kids here and a bunch of men. And I mean, I went down to the hike and bike trail in the middle of nowhere where there's never people to take the dog last weekend. And I've been to Guatemala, and I had family that lived there, so I have a lot of Guatemalan, you know, machete and Guatemalan bags and stuff. And I said, I've seen that before. And I walked over and talked to the people, and I said, you from Guatemala? And they were like, see, Guatemala. And it was like a grandma in the water with a tin can and like woven string fishing, and they had bags. And I saw where there'd been a fire, and I was like, my God, there's people from Guatemala living on the hike and bike trail. And again, I don't dislike them as people. I have some of it on my iPhone, actually. But I realize this is an unlimited stream, a weapon. Because they'll end up, after a while, getting on the welfare rolls, getting into the system. And politically doing whatever the Democratic Party tells them to do. And this is the Republican Party helping kill the country. If you don't get it, folks, you use a tin can with a string tied to it, and then you can roll it, see? And that's a rod and reel with just the can. And again, this was a family with like 5 kids and grandma that fled Guatemala. And I totally get why they want to be here. But I guess they haven't paid the coyotes or whatever enough here in Austin that run the Democratic Party. Because if you don't pay them a bunch of money, they'll beat you over the head with a baseball bat or kill you and bury you in their backyard. I mean, they just dig them up everywhere with the Democratic Party, people's houses, and just get swept under the rug because they're really exploiting these people. You want to be honest about it. And then it kind of clicked this morning. Maybe Glenn Beck's right. Maybe we do bring them soccer balls and teddy bears. But then that takes the moral high ground away from the Democrats that are causing all this. And then we point out, why is Latin America so corrupt? Why can't they be helped? And then point out what the Democrats are planning to do. I mean, maybe I'm wrong to say that's just a sick ploy or a stunt. But UC professor says immigration influx is about re-education of society and a permanent subservient class. And that's it. Who are under government control, so they're not independent. Stacy, you're saying you live there in Marietta. You're about to get off work and go down there. And you're saying you've talked to the Border Patrol and police down there. We've talked to them, too, in other areas of Texas, and ICE agents and emergency managers. What you're saying is true, but nevertheless, they're following the orders. And, again, we don't have long to stop this collapse. I don't know how long we've got, but the trains are more full now. There's more of them. And Homeland Security is now the collapse system. And this is clearly what Obama's planning to collapse the country, amongst other things. There's no doubt the socialists showed up with the Democratic Party and admitted that yesterday. in Marietta. We have the video, and it's just mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. And to see this happening and to realize it's happening and to realize it's not going to help the people once the U.S. collapses, there'll be nowhere to run. Anyways, Stacey, anything else?
Yes. Well, I just wanted to say that after Tuesday, when we had turned the buses around successfully, I did go down to San Diego because I heard that's where our buses were being diverted. So I went to San Diego, and I went to a few Border Patrol stations down there to try to find out where they were going because I knew they're not being sent back to Texas. But I had found out that they were, after being spread around all of San Diego County, they had been now collected into one particular facility in Chula Vista at 311 Athey Street. They are being housed there, and this area is right on the border of Tijuana and San Diego. It's a very dangerous neighborhood. If you wave the American flag, it's like waving a target. So they know there will be no protest of anyone stopping buses from entering that facility. However, the disease and contamination that is spreading and is rampant is why they've had to be condensed to one location.
Wow, and they're not letting congressmen into these facilities. I mean, this is just so illegal. Where's the child welfare? I mean, they're taking homeschoolers' kids because they make nothing but A's. And then you've got these kids being exploited. Can you imagine what they're doing to these kids?
Well, that's the other thing is that after I followed them there and after I was at Border Patrol and I was driving along the border looking and watching these people, I drove to ICE headquarters in downtown San Diego in Front Street, and I sat out there by myself protesting. And as ICE agents came up to me and asked what I was doing there, some people men in their mid-20s walked up and asked the ICE officers for directions to the trolley station. And as the ICE officers were trying to give them directions, the men started laughing and saying, we just got released. We're so happy, in broken English. And the ICE agents put their hand up and said, I can't talk to you, and turned around and walked away. And I said, are you kidding me? I said, why aren't you arresting them? I said, you know what? The trolley station is around the corner. You take the southbound line all the way till it stops.
No. They release them publicly. You've got to tell that testimony. Go out there and tell Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs and Kit Daniels. Tell them everything that you just told us. That's very powerful. God bless you. They're going to be out there all day, and they come back tomorrow night. Thank you, Stacey. Lewis in South Carolina. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, Alex. I wanted to say thanks for taking my call. I wanted to speak directly regarding the problem with Rhode Island using DNA against with the school children. I wanted to.
That's right. Now states like Rhode Island are passing laws to take DNA from everybody. First they denied they were doing this with babies at birth. Now they say in the bill it will re-legalize that.
Right, and well, I wanted to speak directly to your previous caller who's an expected parent, and everyone out there who's expected parents, they need to stand up to this and politely talk to the provider and tell them, I understand the value of the Guthrie test, the heel prick test, that harvests this information. It's a useful prophylactic to test for things like Tay-Sachs and other congenital diseases. I understand the value of it. They say make their intentions known. That they will not have this test on religious grounds. They will turn this test down unless they get a written assertion. They'll do this test in a private facility, separate private facility.
Yeah, that's right. Because they'll say we're going to do blood tests, but it doesn't even really get done. They send it to the health department and to the feds. We first broke that a long time ago, and now it's mainstream news that, we got to get the blood again for our secret database. And again, just government does whatever it wants. And it wants to collapse the country. That's what this is all a plan for. And it's totally disgusting. We're going to skip this network break and go to the bottom of the hour. Mike in Toronto, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hey, Alex, how are you?
I'm just, sometimes I get exhausted. It's just too crazy.
Yeah. Listen, I just wanted to get your take on this and see what it means. Basically, if you remember 14 years ago, there was the whole case with Elian Gonzalez, one kid that was sent here
His mother died on the way over from Cuba, but he was sent here. There was a custody case where his father wanted to bring him back to Cuba. You just mentioned a while ago there are 1,000 kids or thousands of kids that are being sent across the border. And I'm just wondering how the government would react.
Oh, yeah, the government grabbed him away from his family, sent him back, child welfare, SWAT teams, because they cared. The truth is they don't care. The globalists could care less. In fact, they hate basically everybody but themselves. It's just they suspend whatever laws they want whenever they want. And again, they're encouraging the whole thing and bussing them in. It's all planned.
Would they possibly know what the status of every child is if they're just busing them and can't process them and let them go?
No, I hear you. Listen, it's a plan by design. On record. I appreciate your call. Duke in Oklahoma, thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, Mary Fallon is allowing 1,100 of them, they say, here in Oklahoma. And, that's just a door open is all that is.
By the way, that's a total psyop. They always say in the first announcement, there'll be 1,100 at this school. That's 10,000 per town when they're done, okay? It's to collapse the country. And exactly. So, again, they say it's 5 million illegals. It's 30 million. I mean, that's a conservative number that are already here. I mean, it's always 10, 20, 30 times what they say.
Same time, they're starting to shut down roadways, and they're doing a lot more bags where they'll just shut the road down if they see a couple backpacks or something like that, and they'll shut the road down. They're getting people ready for something.
Yeah, we need to be talking about what they're going to do when the collapse accelerates. That's what we should be focusing on, what comes next. The waves are getting bigger. How big will they get? Because there's a depression all over the Caribbean and Central and South America. Mexico has failed. I mean, that's a fact. And now the federal government has decided to allow collapsing countries to collapse into ours, which is an act of political war. I mean, refugees can wreck a country. That's well known. And they have done this now. And I mean, this is just over the top. And then if you don't accept the collapse, Robert Rodriguez and Obama will say you're a racist pushing race war. And then when the collapse happens and the welfare checks don't get there or the dollar's devalued and it won't buy enough, the entire country's going to burn. And that's the plan. And then they'll say, we're going to restore order. And just like out here, the cops will come after anybody that didn't like it. I mean, that's the plan. That's pretty much it.
I know you are too, brother. So let's just keep fighting.
Well, I mean, what else do you think they're going to pull? Because this is important. We should be discussing it.
Well, they're preparing us right now. If you just look around at what they're doing, you can kind of get an idea, a glimpse of what they're trying to set up or stage. And you can watch the news all you want, or you can pay attention to what's going on in your town. But it's great that we're all connected. We're able to talk to each other by your phone, by using your program to communicate these things and get them out there. We should have had more cameras down there in California. Whenever they went up to Biggs, we should have had 3 or 4 other people videotaping those camera guys. That way we can expose this stuff for what it really is. We've got to have backup.
I hear you. God bless you. I mean, I'm reading the headlines at Infowars.com and DrudgeReport.com. El Paso Times. Another plane lands in El Paso carrying more undocumented immigrants. The official who spoke on the background said the Border Patrol has been getting family groups and processing them before turning them over to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, who then ships them deeper into the U.S. I mean, the word's out. You get here, you're legal. But me as a citizen, I could hardly get back in the country. Death train derails in Mexico. Magazine reports Amnesty disaster for black workers. It's a disaster for everybody. Administration turns to churches to avoid clashes. Volunteers work to identify bodies of dead children. Muslim prayer rug found on Arizona border. More military bases asked to open facilities. Homeland closing roads to keep reporters out. I mean, this is just insane. And then you go to Infowars.com. They just posted a bunch of amazing videos with the headline, Special Report, Protesters Arrive Outside Border Patrol Station in Marietta. I mean, this has been going on for weeks. More people are arriving. I think I'm going to change the headline to, to one of these other issues. I'm going to watch some of these videos and change that headline because it's a whole bunch of videos boiling all this down. And so I think the headline should be Border Patrol operates outside their jurisdiction, tries to keep reporters away from buses. I mean, Border Patrol tries to keep press away from buses in Marietta. That's it. There's your headline. So that's a very important article up on Infowars.com. That's just some of the news we've got up there. Caroline in New York, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. Good to talk to you. I'm up here in upstate New York, and I called my congressman, who is Tom Reed, and this little trendy answered the phone, like always. And I said, well, how many unaccompanied illegal aliens are being shipped into New York? And he didn't know. And I'm like, well, what are you answering the phone for if you don't know how many are being shipped in here? So I'm being given the runaround. Every time I call his office to ask him a question, it's just a runaround. They don't know how many. And I said, well, what are you doing about it? And they said, oh, well, we're looking into it. It's just crazy.
And remember, though, they have federally funded checkpoints where they take blood without warrants now, intimidating people, and surveillance and cameras everywhere.
We just had a checkpoint the other week. I was driving to work, and there was a sign on the side of the road that said, slow down, checkpoint. I mean, it was early in the morning, so it wasn't set up yet. And I'm thinking, what the heck is this all about? So, I mean, it's just crazy up here. We have so many drug addicts and people on Medicare and disability. They've just shut down they want to shut down our handicapped workshop and just release all these people onto the street with nowhere to go.
Oh, yeah, that's it. They're getting rid of the mental health. They're getting rid of the workshops for poor people. They're cutting all the social networks that would help black, white, Hispanic, poor people and just dumping more in. This is the planned collapse, undoubtedly. The question is, what are they planning to pull during it? I mean, I am so on the edge of my seat right now because we're not going to have to wait to see what's going to happen now. It's all about to get crazy.
I told this trendy, I told him, too, I said, look up Cloward and Piven. I said, you'll learn a lot. I said, and this is a controlled collapse, and it's going to lower wages here. I said, and also, your future is doomed. I said, these illegal aliens are being given in-state tuition, any state they want to go to school in. I said, how about you? Are you being given in-state tuition? No, you're being made a debt slave, and these guys get a free ride.
And well, they're being used because they're so pliable. They will do whatever the government tells them, a.k.a. the Democratic Party, and they only need a few more percentage points to ban guns in Texas and New York and California. In fact, California's already got the votes. New York hasn't, and they're taking the guns. And so that's why they're doing it. I mean, this is to turn the whole country blue. The Republican leadership's going along with it. And, I mean, it's on. I appreciate your call. Great points, Caroline in New York. Thanks for holding. Look at this Infowars.com posted article by Max Slavo at at the Fan Report. Shock report, 70 million people would be starving in the streets without government welfare programs. The fundamental numbers behind all the propaganda tell a starkly different story. 101 million are on welfare. 70+ million are on total welfare. That's a weapon. Because these aren't just like cows you quit feeding and they jump the fence and go somewhere else or die. These are human beings that will burn, destroy, kill. But they won't have to do that. They just got to politically get in line and they'll get their freebies. I mean, it's a total plan. You wonder how America will be conquered? This is it. And it's not 20 years from now, like they said 20 years ago. It's now. It's just about to start. As I keep telling you, it's going to get crazier and crazier and crazier. And all of you that have played along with it are literally digging your own graves. Last caller I have time for. I apologize to the others. Ray in Florida, you're on the air. You'll be our tail gunner.
Tail gunner, I like that. Am I on now?
You are, brother.
Okay, good. I wanted to talk to you about the chemtrails. I was working on a roof recently, and I'm seeing them spray usually populated areas. Am I correct in saying that?
Well, they're doing atmospheric manipulations, and a lot of them, they've also got lower sprays. We don't know. There's a lot of declassified stuff. It's a giant program. We're not sure what's going on.
Okay, well, usually classified materials are 9 times out of 10 weapons-based. So I stumbled on Maser technology recently on the internet with the World War II when they were practicing on the Japanese POWs and microwaving them to death.
Yes.
And I noticed that they had said something, if they can get something inside your body. And
oh, yeah, no, I mean, that's a big part of the aluminum dioxide and other barium salts and things is to resonate with the Maser technology and slow fry you so they can actuary out when you'll die. Oh, yeah, that's a big part of the frequency pollution program we're under. Yep.
Yeah, so I was looking at my microwave door, and I noticed that the microwave door, if you can go ahead and get something to stop the Maser technology from getting to your body, is it possible to stop the Maser technology?
Well, sir, I just think you should drink fluoride, take all the shots, and eat the GMO and corn syrup and just worship government. I mean, don't be extreme. And don't say the word bossy. Michelle Obama said not to, and she's the boss, okay? Alex Jones here to break down some exciting developments in the area of research concerning supplemental iodine. It's nothing less than phenomenal. I began to get into iodine a few years ago because it was helping me and my family so much get healthy and detoxify. And I used some of the mainline iodine supplements and they upset my stomach and I had some issues with it. Until I discovered a product being developed by Dr. Group, who I was already interviewing as an expert on my radio show, and I began taking the product before he actually rolled it out. You now know it as Survival Shield True Nascent Iodine that your body can really absorb. Then, about a year ago, he said, listen, if you think this is powerful, I'm going to come out with rare earth, deep earth crystals that are incredibly powerful that no one else has as a source for their iodine from between 7,000 and 12,000 feet, literally drilled out of the ground. You put it on a hot plate and it turns into the pure gas. No one else has 99.99% pure iodine. And the results that I personally have had have been life-changing. I was over 270 pounds. And with the iodine, exercise, and better diet, I have lost now more than 50 pounds total, and I'm continuing to lose the weight. I have more energy, my libido, all this crap came out of my skin. I believe our research is conclusive. This is the best iodine out there. And I know this for a fact. Nobody else has got iodine based on these pure crystals, ladies and gentlemen. This is innovating. This is trailblazing. And the best part is it helps fund Infowars.com, the radio show, the TV show, the whole media operation promoting true libertarian ideas. For a limited time, experience the ancient power of Survival Shield X2. Take advantage of this unprecedented 30% off Super Detox Special at InfoWarsLife.com.